Hello and welcome to a not so awesome review. And today we are looking at The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt Ciri action figure by McFarlane Toys. And I honestly was pretty darn excited for this figure. I'm gonna just put it out there. Pretty darn excited. Yeah, I'm using weird words here. But the second they announced it, I was like, yeah, okay, pre-order. And honestly, I wasn't expecting much. I don't know why, just when it comes to female action figures, I'm in the mindset of, yeah, okay, the articulation isn't going to be that great, but I'm like happily surprised here where this figure is. Let's start off with the detail. We'll get to the articulation in a moment, but detail wise, this figure from head to toe looks amazing. The detail, the tiniest details on her just look amazing, from the leathery looking boots to the shirt with all of the little line work and everything going on there to make it look like it's ruffled a little bit. All of it looks really good. The leather looks like it should be leather. You know, it's plastic, but it looks leathery. So I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, McFarlane has always done a great job with sculpt work. I used to think of them as statues that slightly move. Now it's figures that look like statues, more or less. I'm not saying that they're perfect when it comes to articulation. Again, we'll get to that in a second. But aesthetic wise, great job. Double jointed elbows. I'm gonna put that out there right now. That do not look out of place. They look natural. I know a lot of companies don't like doing that when it comes to female figures, but McFarlane did it here. I haven't messed with any of their other female figures, come to think of it, like Wonder Woman and stuff. I haven't picked any of them up. Haven't been interested in like any of the ones they put out so far. But yeah, this figure came out great. The face looks amazing. There is a little bit of a line going through where the hair is. I'm gonna put that out there right now. The only thing I don't like about the figure, because it's like a mold line or something, looks weird, but the face came out good. Could it be better? Probably. There could be a little bit more paint or something going on to just make it look a little bit more alive. But for the most part, I think they did a good job. And again, from, the back, everything still detailed, looks great. And yeah, let's get on to accessories. So she comes with a few things. She comes with her sword and a sheath, which sheath, scabbard, I don't know what you want to call it, plugs into her back. This time it does have the front and the back, so it's a complete piece, unlike Geralt, where you can see the sword through the other side, which was the most disappointing thing from that figure. This one, complete piece, looks amazing. Detail on it looks good. The sword looks decent. It could be better. And we'll get more into that in a second. But yeah, she does come with an effect piece, which is alright. This is the only photo you're going to see of it. Because of the weak hands, it does kind of tend to fall down. But we'll get more into that in a second here. And of course, she comes with the Witcher Wild Hunt McFarlane stand that every figure comes with. But yeah, let's just move on to some articulation. Alright, so taking a quick closer look at the accessory here. Again, it looks good. It's nice, but unfortunately, because it's just the way it's shaped, it makes it too heavy for the weaker rubbery hands here, which, they open really easy to hold. So when it's in the sword, unless you're posing it a really specific way, it's gonna fall off, or it's gonna make the sword fall off, basically, and it's disappointing. So, good effort, but it is what it is. It's not going to work that great. Scabbard looks really good. It is pegged in back here like so, and the sword does just kind of go in and out of there, which is really nice. The sword itself could look better. You can see a little bit of a cut where they cut it from the sprue from down there, and up here the paint silver on it is decent enough. It's not the best. The little tan color right here on the hilt could be better, maybe a little bit of a wash or something, but there's not really anything to wash on. It's pretty smooth, so I feel like this could be better. I have an idea of actually how I can modify that, which I might try and do later, but for the most part, not bad. Really love that this is one piece instead of hollow on one end like they did with Geralt. This is what they should have done with him. And hey, if you guys want to do a recall and kind of give us a scarab that looks nice with that'd be great. It's not gonna happen, and I would probably pay for a new figure if it was different enough, as long as it came with that covered. I don't know if any of the other Geralts do. I know the original one has that issue. I haven't really checked on the other ones, but anyways, it's a little dirty here because she did fall down earlier on this little diorama. But aside from that, You can see, like I said, detail-wise, looks really good. Articulation-wise, though, love it. Does have that kind of dumbbell joint for the head, so she can't really look up too much. And she can look down an okay amount, not too much again. And side to side a little bit, but not much. Left and right is fine. I'm sure people are going to modify it. The hair is soft enough that if you did have that little bit of a cut in the back, that I'm sure she could look up without it being too much of an issue. And down, like I said, it's not too bad, but it does kind of bounce back up. So it is what it is. Arm wise, I think that is actually really, really well. Is that all the way? Yeah, there we go. That's honestly really good for any figure. I love that right there. Does rotate. Does have a butterfly joint that goes back and forward, but because of the rubberness of her shirt here, it does kind of get in the way. But it does give you enough to be able to get into like a one-handed pose if you move the arms around enough. So I'm glad it's there. I just wish it was a little bit better. Let's see. Rotation around, like I said. Double jointed elbows that go all the way. Can't complain about that at all. Rotation at the wrist, and it does have that little hinge joint so you can go up and down and then move the wrist so you can do up and down right there for your weapon holding hand. Ab crunch wise, I mean, there's something there, but it's not great. Back, a lot better. Front, it could be better. You kind of have to work it, and it does tend to kind of want to bounce back. Side to side, works decent enough. Actually, that's more than decent. I'm happy with the side to side. It's mostly the front, which again, you can kind of work it to work, but it doesn't, it could be better. That's all I'm saying, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and it does go side to side, which is good. Legs can go out that far. No upper thigh rotation, which sucks, but can kick forward about that much right there. And back about that much, though it does extend the rubberness of the butt right there because it is soft, but that's fine. Double joint knee, it does really well. And then up, back, we do get the side to side depending on how you want to rotate this. You can get a lot more side to side, and then the boot or the toe hinge right there. So articulation wise, you can get her into some really, really good extreme posing, which I absolutely love. And yeah, it's a good figure. You can definitely get her to like a sword holding hand like that from the back. I think they did great. Again, McFarlane can improve in some places, but it's typical where we don't have the thigh rotation and the ab being a little bit limited, so I can't really fault them on that. It is what we would expect from a typical McFarlane figure. So yeah, aside from that, really good figure right there. Let's move on to some size comparisons. And by comparisons, I mean just these two figures because I'm in the middle of trying to figure out where I'm going to film. So I only had these guys with me, but you can see her with the rest of the Witcher line. And you can see, she's pretty scaled, pretty good. She's a little bit shorter than Geralt. Definitely shorter than Mr. Wildhunt's name, who I can't remember right now. But yeah, I think the figures look good together. They pose pretty good together. I'll say her and Geralt pose a lot better than her and the other dude. That was definitely the most difficult thing, was trying to get him into a good pose. But again, her, Geralt, they look great together. Love it. I wish I had a horse figure so I could, do some more stuff with that. But I definitely had fun, with these two figures together. And yeah, let's just move on to some, I guess, final thoughts here on the figure and wrap this video up. So ultimately, I think McFarlane knocked it out of the park with this one. They did a great job. I mean, looking here, seeing like the extreme articulation that this figure can do, I love it. Again, the ab crunch could be better. I do wish we had a better thigh rotation or just a single thigh rotation, period. But it is what it is. It's what we expect. Hopefully, it'll grow and, get better from here on out. But again, this right here, this pose, something I wish a lot of Marvel Legend female figures could do. Great figure. Like I said, you can get it into the two-handed pose. I said one-handed. I didn't even say what it was, but two-handed sword gripping pose is possible with her. And it is a little bit thanks to those butterfly joints. They do kind of, not work perfectly, but they work enough that you can get that pose going. So I'm fine with that. figure is great. I highly recommend it if you are a fan of The Witcher, Ciri, if you're a fan of the television show, the books, the games, whatever. It's a great figure to have in the collection, and I'm glad I picked it up. I'm hoping that we get more figures of her, some other variants, since we got some variants of Geralt already coming out. Maybe more figures, and this actually makes me wish that McFarlane would make more Game of Thrones figures, because if they do something with those figures like they did with these, I think they would come out amazing. Or, Lord of the Rings is coming out. Hopefully, before the TV show comes out, we get some classic Lord of the Rings figures. That would be great. I think McFarlane proved that they can pull it off now. So, yeah. Anyways, that is my review for the Ciri action figure by McFarlane. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all later. Hopefully, a little bit more organized. But yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.